Hello again everyone and welcome to another Dead by Daylight mobile video. Today we'll be playing as the Shape, an interesting killer who always makes a match really fun. This is one of the few killers who is overpowered without being too overpowered. A good team of survivors can usually evade the Shape pretty easily and get out of the match before he triggers his tier 3, what was it called? Tier 3 Stalker, I think. Oh, Evil Within 3, my bad. But if you're a good Shape player and you got a good head on your shoulders, you can also usually turn the tide of a match right towards the end, especially with the two iridescent add-ons we're putting on him today. The first one being the Fragrant Tuft of Hair, which basically makes it so that you only have to trigger Evil Within 3 once, and then you have it for the rest of the match. Now, this does come with a minor drawback because it increases the amount of evil that you need in order to reach that by 200%. But that's kind of a minor problem. Like I said, a good head on your shoulders. You'll be triggering that towards the end of the match, maybe even when they still have a generator or two to finish, and then you can just off all four of them really easily. Especially with Judith's Tombstone here, which allows you to kill survivors by your own hand while you're using Evil Within 3. But it does slow you down a little when you're at that state, and it also increases the amount of evil required to reach it. So, with his best add-ons, naturally I'm going to go with the Black Ward offering, which prevents the loss of these add-ons at the end of the trial. No reason to give him a Mori, because he can already kill survivors by his own hand. And then, just as a little insurance in case I don't make it to that tier 3, we've got the Noed Hex perk. No One Escapes Death, which can also help counterbalance the Evil Within 3's slower movement speed, and survivors will not be expecting you to use it because you're already playing as the Shape, so you can usually have it and not have anyone cleanse that Hex totem. Sorry about that. Now, we also have Jolt as a perk that we're putting in, which makes generators regress as soon as you put a survivor into the dying state with a basic attack. And let's see, oh, and it also makes it explode, which is nice. We are also coming in with Unrelenting, which makes it so that if you miss a basic attack, you can get the like cooldown, I guess you want to call it, is a little shorter. And we have Fearmonger, which gives a survivor the exhausted status effect when they start repairing a generator. And that one is super helpful, especially for a stalker like the Shape. Taking a look at some other perks that I could replace Noed with, but not really necessary. I mean, probably would be a little helpful, because like I said, Noed is kind of unnecessary with the Shape, but we're just gonna do it anyway. We've hit start, we're getting ready to enter a match. Hopefully shouldn't take too long. I'm starting to pick up on some little tricks for myself to allow me to make a little less background noise. Hopefully you can notice that. And immediately we're going in with that signature song. Now, as the Shape, like I said, you can generally you'll start the match with the survivors in kind of with kind of the advantage over you, but as the match progresses, as long as you're using Evil Within and stalking the survivors and building up your tiers, you can turn the match around pretty quickly. Sometimes even in the mid-game, Although, in my experience, it's usually not till towards the end game when I do trigger the Evil Within 3, and I'm able to take out most, if not all, the survivors. But I imagine a really good shape player, especially if I had Lethal Pursuer, that would be helpful. But a really good player can probably turn the match around much sooner. So as you can see, I am immediately using Evil Within. Already caught a survivor under its effect, and that is perfect. That is exactly what we want. We're gonna let him repair the generator. He's not looking over here. Huh, now usually that's about all it takes to make them start running away from a generator, but I do believe we've maxed out the amount of Evil Within we can get on this guy. So we're gonna march on up, hit him with a little bit, damage the generator. We're not having that, boys. You're not gonna trap me in a chase, unfortunately for you. And interesting. I'm like 90% sure someone went around that way in order to get back to their generator, but might be wrong there. Might have gotten it just a little wrong. Oh, we got someone with that stalker. There we go. Oh, yes. 3 survivors in 1. Perfect for building up our Evil Within. And also letting me know that they're not going to finish that generator I already kicked. Which is perfect. Perfect for me. Not so good for them. We're not here to help the survivors. We're here to destroy them. Now we've got 2 in our sight on this side. Perfect. And I do believe we have 1 guy here who went for a hiding spot, but not gonna matter. Hit the gen. Cost him a little time. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. And look at that. This guy is just wanting us to build up our Evil Within. I do not know why. And he's trying to bait us. But it's not necessary. As a shape, you can just pretty much ignore the chases up until the end. Just try to keep getting your Evil Within tiered. Oh, look at that. It's still regressing. That's interesting. I honestly thought they had managed to get back on that generator, but no, of course not. Not too strategic here. They are a little scared, you can tell. They do not want me to get my tier increased again, but they're handing me every opportunity to do it. So as you can see, I'm not too interested in a chase right about now. It's much easier just to increase my Evil Within and get them just like that. Now it's over. The match is basically over now. They made it way too easy for me. This person's gonna try to psych me out. Try to get me with that pallet. Not gonna work. And downed. Didn't get a killer with my own attack, but doesn't matter. Knocked her down. My goodness. Oh, and I saw someone over in that corner too. Always be looking around, even while you're carrying a survivor. See, they got 2 generators done, which is normally pretty good. But in this case, it's really not going to help. They could finish like 4 generators at the rate they're going, and it wouldn't matter. Ooh, almost could have got her. But we're going to go find another survivor. Beautiful. Oh! Sorry, David. You miscalculated that, didn't ya? which is pretty natural against the shape. Yeah, against the shape, survivors make a lot more mistakes. It's just how it is. It really is. Oh, and they saved their friend. That's fine. Oh yeah, I did put him in the dying state. That's why I'm noticing that generator regression. Okay, that makes sense. For a second there, I was confused. I was like, I did not kick that generator. Ooh, and they saved him. Just fine by me. I'm gonna head over here, destroy this pallet so they can't loot me on here anymore. Pretty dumb to drop a pallet when there's no one there. And looks like we found the survivor we're gonna go after. Now, it doesn't matter if they heal each other. It really doesn't. We're gonna go after Mr. Corner Boy here. Oh, Corner Girl. And there you have it. First Mori. 3 gens done. Just took away their advantage. 3 generators versus 3 survivors. Normally, that would be considered even, like no advantage. But in this case, it's actually an advantage for me. Oh, I missed that. Woo! Come on, Mikey. You're better than this. How'd you miss that? You've never missed a day in your life. Never miss a leg day. And just like that, I saw that button lagged a bit, but I knew I'd be able to get him before he got to that pallet. And so I did. Took away their advantage again. As I said, not really an advantage for them. In this case, go ahead. Go ahead, Kate. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to go after this guy first. He's, looks like we got a chaser here. I do believe that's her goal, is to distract me. Not gonna work. Go ahead and damage this. She is still trying to distract me. She's trying to grab my attention so that her friend Dwight can work on popping these gens. Oh, David. And just like that, he's down. And we're gonna go for his friend since we didn't actually Mori him. I don't want to let that hatch open up. So, that's the game, pretty much. Kinda had a feeling Kate was gonna do that. And just like that, we got them both down. Managed to Mori 2 of the survivors. Oh man, that was way too easy. How long is this match even gonna last at this rate? And just like that, she's on the hook. Gonna go chase down David. He's probably gonna go for the hatch, so I'll meet him halfway. That was way too easy. I'm used to the survivors being able to get at least a little further than that. At least one more generator. But wasn't happening today. Oh, look at that. He's still over here. What a silly Billy. Okay, David, you go ahead and fight. Now these players didn't play so well, so I'm not gonna spare David either. It kinda disappointed me. Honestly. Too much of the chase. They panicked a few times too many as well. Let's have a little fun. Just having a little fun with David here. Hopefully they don't die at the same time. Oh, there it is. Yep. Here we go. Come on, baby. Give me that hatch. Let me have the hatch points. Don't take this away from me. Seems like they both just gave up. And yes! Yes! We got the hatch closed just in time. Aw, man. The shape is kind of hard to rank up in. You'll notice even if you chase those survivors a lot, let them do the generators and all that, I don't know what it is, but it is just difficult to get rank points as him. Well, there you have it. This is a much shorter video, probably one of the shortest ones I've posted. But that's just how it works with the shape. He is super overpowered when I play as him. Especially when you have survivors like that who aren't expecting that kind of power. I was a little confused by just how easy that was. Normally the survivors manage to get down to one generator or complete them all before I've even activated tier 3, let alone started moriing them. But these guys, they were all clustered for most of the map. They apparently did not know how to hide from my stalking ability. If you're facing against the shape, you should always try to get behind some cover as soon as you can. Yeah, he might go and chase in that direction, but he moves slowly enough that you can usually out-athlete him and go around those obstacles and stay hidden. But they didn't really do that. You notice there I had 3 of them under my gaze at one point, and that is super like, it's a huge disadvantage to them. They didn't really stand a chance there. So I don't really have much else to say. The shape is kind of a basic killer, but his ability allows him to not only see the auras of survivors, but use that to his advantage and get stronger, become more dangerous. I mean, even with the slow down add-on, you guys notice I didn't even need to activate NOED. I was just unstoppable. They couldn't outrun me. They couldn't really do anything about it once I hit that tier 3. But they did try. But they did not go in with a proper strategy against the shape. The proper strategy against the shape is, well, for any killer, don't run unless the killer's already found you and is chasing you. But this is especially important against the shape. If possible, you should stay crouched at all times, because it really cuts down on what environments the shape can stalk you in, as well as helps you. Well, I mean, that's really the biggest reason, just evading him. If you evade his gaze, he'll probably just smash a generator if you were working on one and immediately leave, because the shape's weakness is his overconfidence. When you're playing as a shape, it's easy to get really confident, and you don't see any survivors when you turn on your stalker, and so you just assume that no one's there. And in all actuality, there could be up to all 4 survivors in the area, but one of them noticed the shape, and they gave a proper warning to the other survivors, and then they all just ducked under some cover, and then the shape, with his cocky attitude, goes over, doesn't see anyone, hits the generator and leaves, and then it makes it a lot easier for those survivors to pop back up, fix the generator, get to another one. And if you are grouped up like they were, a strategy I would recommend against the shape is to have one person who hasn't really been stalked a lot yet. This is particularly if you're swiffing. You should make sure everyone knows, like, hey, he's been looking at me for a while. I don't think I'll be able to distract him. I need someone else to hop in on this. And yeah, he'll start tearing up, but the whole goal with this strategy is to have your friends work on the generator and try to pop them all before he can hit tier 3. Because as soon as he hits tier 3, the game's pretty much over. You all saw that. Like, wow. I mean, they were playing better after I hit tier 3. They were like really doing their best to vault different obstacles, try to hit me with pallets, but it didn't matter because it was just a one-hit kill. It was way too easy at that point. And when that's the case, you've already lost. Your best bet is to do what they were doing and just try to get away, but it's already too late. It's like the fly caught in a spider's web trying to struggle out. Like, yeah, you might make some progress, but you're done for already. That's how it is. Don't try to distract the killer when he's in tier 3 either. All that's going to do is let him hit one of your friends and then immediately go after you. Now, one of my favorite things with the Shape is his weapon there, the lead pipe. You all saw me using it. That's definitely my favorite weapon. There's just something so wrong about sticking a lead pipe into someone. And that's what I love about it. It's just so cruel and unusual, and it's exactly what Michael Myers would do. When I'm facing off against the Shape, I usually just try to hide. Like, literally, hide in a locker, too. Lockers are a good strategy if he hasn't seen you yet, but you can get his terror radius once he's hit tier 2. Oh, that reminds me, yeah, if in case you didn't know, at tier 1 Evil Within, the Shape has no terror radius. He's undetectable. You have to look around while you're working on a generator, not just for him, but for quite a few other killers, such as the Pig and the Ghost Face. And anyone with the Deer Stalker perk, they might just stand there, figure out the situation before they go in guns blazing. And you have to look around. You noticed in the beginning there, I managed to completely harvest the Evil Within on the first player because they just didn't see me. They never saw me. I teared up. They were still outside of my terror radius. It didn't matter. And that was really bad for them. Really, really bad for them. That's pretty much the whole reason I won the match, was just because I was able to capture all of the Evil Within on that first player before they'd even finished a generator. That, and then the doozy, that double whammy of having so many survivors clustered together, that just made it too easy. Now, part of me thinks they were swiffing, but if they were doing even worse. So I want to hope that they weren't. I want to hope that they were all just good players. Because if they were swiffing, that was a horrible job of it. They should have known better than to cluster together, let me stalk all of them at once. And they should have been able to communicate that problem, have each other hop on generators while I'm stalking one of them, rather than letting me get all 3 that I hadn't gotten yet and just go to town and have my tier 3 up in no time at all. That's about all I have for you all today. If you liked the video, you can leave a like. You can also dislike it if you didn't like it. I'm not here to judge your tastes. Although, I will say I'm pretty impressed with myself on that. Not so impressed with the survivors. They really could have done a better job and could have had me pulled along the string a little bit longer. But that's a story for another day. Subscribe if you want to see more videos that I make similar to this one, and until then, you all have a wonderful day.